everybody. Welcome to Pro World Live. I'm Danielle from Pro World.
Kate behind the camera.
But today, you're not here to see us. You're actually here to see Joe, who's joining us from Siser with their brand new product, Siser Easycolor Dtv. So I'm going to pass it right off to Joe, and he is going to show you all about this product and demonstrate it. This is amazing. So go ahead, Joe, take it away.
Hello, everyone. And that's not true, Danielle, because I'm here to see you. But while we're here hanging out with everybody else, thank you all so much for taking the time out of your day to join this live. I'm honored to be here with Pro World to talk about our brand new product at Siser. In case you missed it, it's called Easycolor, and we're coining it DTV, which means direct to vinyl. So remember that, DTV, Easycolor. So keep that synonymous, direct to vinyl. Why direct to vinyl? Because we answered so many questions, or so many requests, I should say, that I've had from customers over the past almost decade here at Siser, and that is to come out with a product that is compatible with your home desktop inkjet printer. That's right, I can't stress it enough. That's what I have before me. That's what you have at home, that you print all your documents and fun stuff and tickets to shows and all the things that you do on paper at your home. You can now decorate full color images on a product that we came out with called Easycolor Dtv. So that's what we're doing and talking about today. So please, as we're going along, if you have any questions, if there's anything you want to know, we're going to kind of cruise through basically the overview of the product, and I'm going to show you some applications, and we're going to have some fun. But please, this is all for you guys, so if you have questions along the way, please ask. I'm going to kind of just show you, this is what Easycolor looks like. You're at home going, it looks like a piece of paper, or it looks like white easy weed. Yes, it looks like a piece of paper, about the same size, but when you get a feel of it, one important thing to remember is that Easycolor does have the side that you're obviously printing on, and then it has its backing. It's very hard to show you here on camera, but when you get a hand or on the Easycolor, one of two things, in case you're not familiar with it, the feel of it, which is a little bit more of a flat kind of, I would say, more rubbery feel, that's the surface you're going to print on. The other side is the shinier side, that's the backing. So depending on how your home desktop printer is, it's important to know how to load the Easycolor into the printer. Now this one actually loads off of a bottom drawer, which is somewhere down here. Or does it load on top? Sorry, this is a different one. This loads on top. I'm wrong. If it's a bottom drawer and you load it that way, you're going to load it with the shiny side, or the backing rather, with the face up. So the backing is going to go down. That way it prints on the correct side, I should say. And now on the back, if it's loading on the back like this printer is, you're going to load it with the face of the product facing out. So you're going to print on it like you would normally print your papers. So you're not mirroring your image, so you don't need to worry about any of that. So any questions on that part of the setup? You just need to know what printer you have at home, if it's got a loading drawer or it loads in the back. That's basically how you get the Easycolor into your printer. Now, the next part is going to be your setup. Now, I don't have anything here to get into that because there's a little bit more involved depending on what your design is. Now, we're just showing things that are very, very simple, and I think a lot of the inspiration, we're talking maybe to some of you that you can relate to this, it's almost back to school season. So that means that the kids need some awesome decked out gear, ready to get back to school looking fresh. So part of that could be sharing memories, taking the photos that you took over the summer that you can print out now on the Easycolor, and that's simply setting up the picture or the image that you want and sending it as simple to your printer, and that's it, and printing it directly onto the Easycolor. Now, I'm talking to people that may not have a vinyl cutter at home either. So some of you might not have a vinyl cutter at home. You might not have a heat press at home. If you have a home iron, if you have a pair of scissors, if you have a desktop printer, you can get started using the Easycolor, as simple as that. So the printing process is very basic. It's literally hitting print. You have a couple options in your print, whether you want to print at a standard quality, at a high quality. Now you got to know that this product receives the ink a little bit different between the standard and the high quality. High quality is going to lay down more ink. It's going to be more saturated. So in the next steps I'm going to show you, you may have to work around depending on which setting you decide to print with. So any questions on that so far?
I think we're good.
Cool. All right, so the other great thing about the Easycolor is that you have no limitations on what color garment you can apply it on. So for those that, I mean, I see some people mentioning other transfer papers in the comments right now. If you're familiar with transfer papers, nothing wrong with them, but I got to use them as a basis of comparison for this product since it works with inkjet. For the other transfer papers, you got to remember that you do also need to purchase a product that's specific for dark garments and specific for light garments. With Easycolor, you don't need to worry about what color garment you're applying on. You also can apply on cotton, polyester, blends, all sorts of different substrates, even things that are not necessarily fabrics that you're going to be wearing, but other kind of hard substrates like canvases. We've pressed on wood plaques. It's very experimental. I know there's people probably asking, can I do tumblers and mugs and stuff like that? Not really suggested for those surfaces, more for things that aren't going to ever be washed, if that's going to be the case. Obviously, you're washing cups and mugs and stuff like that, so you have more of a chance of falling off there. But this product is made for textiles, so it's made for fabrics. The other difference versus other transfer papers that some of you have questions in your mind right now is, how does it last? You may have had a bad taste in your mouth with other transfer papers that have come off after 2 or 3 washes. The image fades. We've done our testing with 20 plus washes, and 20 washes in industry standard is a life of a garment, more or less. So it will exceed that until you start seeing possible variance in the constant print to where we are today, or after 20 plus washes. So just giving you a little bit backstory for those that are asking the comparison. And then at the end of the day, it's the feel of the product. Remember, you're dealing with transfer papers. This is a vinyl still. So the stretchability of it, the feel of it, the way that the product actually lays into the fabric of the garment is very soft, has a light hand. So yes, I know I can't show you on camera. You'll have to try it for yourself, but we'll get into that during the application. Any questions?
No, we're good so far.
We're cruising. I'm proud of you guys. All right. So I'm going to show you 2 different scenarios for 2 different applications. I'm going to start with this solid guy. You guys have probably seen him before. Obviously, people know me here in the office. I'm a horror movie buff. So if I was going back to school, I'd want something awesome like this. This is one solid piece of an image. It is printed out without registration marks. So this isn't ready to be cut on a vinyl cutter. This is basically made so that I can take a pair of scissors and cut around the edges of it. So really, it's as simple as that. If you have a basic shape like this, you're just going to take some scissors and trim the excess off, and then you're good to go. I already did that because I don't want to bore you with cutting. So I already have my piece is printed, cut. Now the next step is the application end of it. Now I'm going to do this onto a dark tri-blend garment. Super thin, super soft, a navy color. I am going to use a heat press for this one. If you don't have a heat press, again, you absolutely can use Easycolor. Just make sure that you're getting the correct temperature and you're using the proper force when you're pressing down for your application. So I'm at 310 degrees on my heat press. I'm going to preheat that. You want to be at about a medium pressure for this. which I'm probably at more of a firm pressure.
Hey, Joe, quick question for you. Are you mirroring that print?
No, you're printing like you would be reading it. Now, I'm going to explain why. Because you're printing on the face of the Easycolor. Remember, I still have the backing on here. I have to get this off of the backing to my shirt. So, this is why I'm saying you don't need a vinyl cutter if you hand cut it. But the next step you're going to do is you want to remove this solid piece off of the backing. I can't take this and lay it down and press it because it's still got this piece blocking my adhesive. So what I'm going to do is simply pierce the corner of this lightly. And if you have nails, you can peel this right off. So I'm just going to peel this back, and it's super thin, so be careful. I'm just peeling this off of the backing, as you can see. So this is my backing that you don't want to make sure is on there when you try to go to apply. This is garbage. Now what you're going to do is lay it. As you can see, I got a little bit of curling. It is one solid piece. I'm going to show you how easy it is to kind of flatten that out. And what you're going to do is use the heat of either your heat press or your home iron. You're going to warm up the surface. And when you warm up that surface and lay it down, you'll actually see the product flatten out. As you can see, it doesn't curl anymore. So this is another benefit. As thin as it is, you actually see it lay flat. That's because I warmed that lower piece up, and you can do that with a home iron. Remember, iron that area, lay it down, you're good to go. Now, here's another thing to remember with Easycolor. I don't have a mask on it. It is the raw material. You get to decide whether you want it to be a matte or a glossy finish. That's another uniqueness about the Easycolor. And this is all dependent on what cover sheet you're using. So you can use parchment paper, and this is going to keep your transfer a matte finish. Or if you want a glossy finish, you can use a non-stick cover sheet like this one, or a Teflon sheet, and this will create it to be glossy. Now, if you ever want to switch them, you can also do that with Easycolor. So say you did it glossy, you got bored with it down the road, you wanted to make it matte, all you have to do is lay it back down, press it with the parchment paper, and it'll matte out your image. So, crowd participation. Do I go matte or glossy on this? Real quick. Comments. Matte or glossy? Trevor, the first one that pops up.
I'm looking.
What do we got? What do we got?
Nothing yet. Nothing yet. We
got glossy. All right, so we're going glossy. Came up first. This is the non-stick cover sheet. I'm going to lay that on top of my transfer. Remember, I don't have any kind of TTD Easy Mask on it. I'm going to press this for 15 seconds. That's all it takes. 310 degrees, 15 seconds, medium pressure. And there you have it. I also missed the whole part where the colors pop a lot more after you press it. So as you can see it too, maybe not so much in this lighting, but you can see that it does have a glossy finish on it. It's tough to see, but it does have a glossy finish. You can kind of see a little reflection, but that's it. So again, we're on a navy shirt. Super soft, stretchy, feels great, soft hand. It is one solid piece. That's all it takes to decorate without having to use a vinyl cutter or mask. And you can use Easycolor. Any questions on that part?
Captain says, what if it's glossy, but I want to make it matte later?
I did just answer it, but I'm proud of him. Now, if I wanted to go back and make it matte, all I would have to do is lay it back down and press it with parchment paper, and the parchment paper will matte out the finish. So if I wasn't happy with that glossy finish, I could press it with the parchment paper and it would matte it out. Great question, though. All right. So, anything else?
And just to kind of reiterate, put me back on the screen. Joe is using an inkjet printer. That's what he's using for the Easycolor Dtv. So you'll want to use an inkjet printer, not sublimation, solely focus on inkjet. So this is to, you know, get your inkjet printer back in working condition, right?
Absolutely.
It's getting bored. Now's the time to use your inkjet printer with the Easycolor.
Yes.
We've got
Two great questions.
One is,
can you iron the shirt later? Like press your transfer later?
Like after, I'm guessing they mean.
Oh, if it wrinkles?
Yeah, if it wrinkles,
Yeah.
you iron the shirt.
Yes, absolutely. Now, remember, people, I want you guys to be realistic about it. Your shirt is never going to look as crispy as it does coming off of a heat press or an iron. You guys know this. If I threw this into the washer and dryer, it's going to go like this a billion times while it's going out, and then you're going to pull it out and it's going to look wrinkled. It's just naturally what it does. So the transfer, because of how soft and as thin as it is, it will take the shape of your garment. It's just what it does. For those that are familiar with our other heat transfer vinyls, Easy Weed and all of the thinner products we have, you know that when you take it out of the dryer, it's going to be wrinkled. If you ever wanted to, you could always iron that out. Just go back, turn your heat press on, grab that home iron, grab a piece of cover sheet. Ideally, if you're just ironing it out, I like to make sure that I don't iron directly on the transfer. I would lay it down and iron from the backside. And then you can flatten it out, and then you're good to go. Another thing, if I overstretch this like crazy, and I was worried about it being a little warped, you could go back to the heat press it, and it'll actually contract it back to where it was originally at. So you can stretch this product way more than any other transfer papers that are out there, because if you see that, they have a tendency to crack or rip. This won't happen with Easycolor.
Another great question. Can this be layered with paint?
That's a fantastic question, and absolutely it can. I actually have a super wrinkled garment somewhere around here. It might be MIA. Oh, here you go. This is an example. You probably can't see it. It's the yellow on here, I promise. Strip Lock Pro layered directly onto my Easycolor right here. Yes, you can layer other Siser Dtv on top of the Easycolor. That is a great question, though. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to go on to the other part where you could go a different route. So some people might be like, I have a design and it's multiple pieces. How do I get that over to the garment? Now, this is where you are going to need a vinyl cutter. You're going to need a vinyl cutter that can read registration marks. So we tend to show a lot with the Silhouette or the Brother Scan and Cut. If you have a different vinyl cutter that does contour cut with an optical eye, you will need to know how to set it up with registration marks. So for example, what I have here is another cut of the Easycolor, but in the corners I have the registration marks for the Silhouette Cameo. This has already been cut. So this was set up in Silhouette Studio. We set it up with the registration marks. We sent it to the printer first to print it out, and then we brought it back to the vinyl cutter, set it up, and then cut it with a mat, and it read the registration marks, and it did the contour cut. So there's a little bit more of a process to make sure you do that if you want the detailed cut like what I have here. Any questions on that? I know I can't visually show you. We're going to have plenty of content down the line kind of explaining it.
I just wanted to clarify something for Tammy in the chat. If you have one solid piece printed out, you want to make sure you preheat your garment first and then lie it onto the heated garment so that your Easycolor uncurls prior to pressing. It's best to do that.
Yes.
She just says, so you just pull the backing off and press. You could, but it's best if you allow it to uncurl on the heated garment.
So the warmed up heat from the lower platen, or if you iron out your surface area, that heat will cause the curled up material to relax. That way you can get a better press in case you're worried about it curling up. You don't need to worry about that. Okay, so I have everything cut, contour cut. This is a design that's multi-pieces. Cut it out on a silhouette. Again, whatever vinyl cutter you have at home that works with contour cuts, you can absolutely do this. Now, this is what I was explaining earlier on in the class. Now, this is the importance of the difference between a standard print and a high quality print. Some of you might be asking, do you need to wait to cut, like a dry time? This is something that is not necessarily an exact science here yet. We're really kind of feeling it out. Remember, all these printers, all these different inkjets are slightly different. So they might react a little bit differently with the Easycolor. We can't give an exact explanation. Sorry, I know this sounds like a cop-out, but it's really the reality of it. If you have a high quality print, you're probably gonna wanna wait a couple hours until you cut it and then mask it. If you decide to go with the standard print, our testing has noticed that you don't need to wait. You can print it, cut it, and mask it almost right after each other. The high quality, because it puts down more ink onto the Easycolor, which makes it more vibrant, it causes it to not really, it might have issues with the cutting and masking end of it. So allowing it to dry a little bit will let you mask it nicely. I hope that didn't confuse you too much. All right, so this is gonna be the masking portion of it. So what I have in my hand right now is the Siser TTD Easy Mask, which is different than the Easy Subli mask, if those that are using Siser Easy Subli. So our TTD Easy Mask is the mask we recommend to use for masking your Easycolor, if you need to. And the reason I want to do that is because I want to pick up every one of these letters all at once. I'm trying to peel the paper backing off. All right. So that this is my adhesive side. This is going to stick, or this is going to hopefully stick my transfer or peel it off of the backing. Oh, I should peel that. Okay, so I'm laying my TTD Easy Mask onto a hard surface. I'm going to just roll my Easycolor across it. You're going to use a squeegee. And there you have it. So I just peeled the backing off, and now my transfer is ready to be pressed. Does this make sense? You see how I have it all now at one solid piece? That's when you want to use the mask. If your design is multiple pieces, that's when you're going to use the mask. If you're using one solid piece, you don't need to use the TTD Easy Mask. Another important note to make sure that you know is if you do mask this, do not wait too long. I would say maybe like 24 hours at max, maybe 48 hours. We're still kind of testing it out. But don't wait too long on pressing this. The longer you wait with the mask on the Easycolor, it will actually pull the color out. So if you're gonna mask it and you need to mask it, try to apply it right away.
Just answering Jessica's question. So this is printed not in reverse. This is not reverse printed.
This is not reverse printed. So you would print it just like you would normally be reading it or looking at it. And then when you send your cut, I know for those that have a vinyl cutter, especially Silhouette Studio, you know when you hit that button, it says, do you want to mirror? You don't want to mirror your cut. You want to make sure you cut it the same way it looks like on your Easycolor. All right, so I already did a dark garment with Easycolor. I'm going to do a light garment with Easycolor. I'm going to pre-press for a couple seconds. All right. Now I have a mask on it. I'm not going to be able to change the finish just yet. So I'm going to do the full press with the mask on it. The mask is going to naturally kind of give it a semi-gloss finish just because of the adhesive on the mask itself. But if you want to go back and mat it out, I keep kind of forgetting to show you the difference in that color. But when you press it too, compared to the print, maybe we can get a close-up on the table. But I'm going to mat it out. I'm going to use the parchment paper, lay the parchment paper on top of it, and I'm going to press it for another 10 seconds. And that the parchment paper is going to mat out my finish. Okay. Now we'll try to get a picture on the table here to show you the difference in the color and how it pops. Hopefully we can see it. So the color on the shirt is a lot darker and richer and closer to what I want. It's going to look a little bit more vibrant on the print, but if you look at this print in person, it's actually more of a muted color. I know it's deceiving because it looks like maybe opposite, but this is how it was supposed to look. The print is going to come out a lot lighter. When the heat hits it on the heat press or your home iron, it is going to make the color pop a lot more, make it more rich and saturated. So that is kind of the purpose of it. So that's another thing to remember. So when you see the print initially come out and you're like, it doesn't look like what I want, remember, it's until you heat press it is when you're going to get the actual look of the color and how it comes out. Any questions on that?
So the one that's on the shirt is how the file looks.
Exactly, exactly. Any questions? Bueller?
No, I think you've actually been answering questions as they come up on the screen without even knowing it. So even better. But we can absolutely recap the product. Easycolor Dtv, brand new by Siser. ProWorld does have the quantities in stock for both the Easycolor Dtv as well as the TTD Easy Mask in the sheets. A 8.4 by 11 is the size. You can use your inkjet standard desktop printer, and you can use your cutter or no cutter. And I think that might be it, right?
Mask or no mask? So
mask or no mask, yeah.
To also just, again, go over the highlights compared to what other people are used to with transfer papers out there. Longevity. I don't need to worry about this color, this image that I want to wear back to school for the next years and years and years to ever fade on me 3 washes later. You have ample time to keep that awesome coloring. The other side is the feel of it. I know you can't get it on camera, but super soft, super stretchable, even with solid pieces, super stretch. Even if, again, I'm going to stretch it out. Now look, I know that I'm like, well, what'd you just do? You just ruined that image. Again, all you have to do is go back to the heat press, put the cover sheet on it, and I'm making it matte this time, and press it for another few seconds. Oh, you guys, I'm more of a matte guy. I'm more of a matte guy, but it's back to what it was supposed to look like. No more glossy finish. Sorry for those that wanted it. You can go back if you want to, but now I have a matte Jason here. So yeah, you have the option of the finishes you want. You can layer on it. It works for all the inkjet printers that are out there. You don't need a lot of equipment to get started, and now you can do full color images at home. I mean, I have a slew, everything you see behind me, everything we've been showing is all stuff that you could do at home now. You don't need huge amounts of equipment and a ton of stuff. So that's basically what the Easycolor is able to offer you.
All right. Well, thank you, Joe, for joining us. This was a great demo. Can't wait to use this product. And I'm sure our customers can't wait as well. And thank you for joining us today. And always a pleasure.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Pro World. Thank you to everybody that joined. Please keep asking your questions. Oh, before I forget, because, and I'm just a little plug on Siser over here. If you aren't following Siser North America, when we did this launch, we are doing a gigantic giveaway this week. You have one more day. If you're watching this right now live, you have literally 24 hours to get into this giveaway, and we're giving away sheets of the Easycolor. We're giving away a bunch of cool Siser accessories. We have one grand prize winner that's also going to win one of these Siser Craft heat presses. So if you aren't following us over on Siser North America as well, please do, because we're going to be announcing the winners tomorrow, Friday, August 5th, live on our Facebook page at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please make sure, if you can, check that out. We're going to be talking about this a lot, so I hope to be back on with you, Danielle, and the Pro World team, and get more questions from you guys. Hopefully you ask them. So thank you all again. I really appreciate your time, and I'll talk to you all very soon.
All right. Thanks again. Bye, everybody.